Hey, so I'm sorry about that. My dog started going crazy. So if you started to watch me before, we're going to go now. So the one thing that's different between people on the top and everybody else that is not quite there, there's only one thing different. So I'm going to take the circle here. So we're going to put it into fours here. Hope you can see that. So we all have the same company. So we're all with Scentsy. So there's nothing different there. We all have the same products. So we all have the same access to things to offer people. We all have the same specials. We all have the same exact stuff. Like things that are going out, everybody has it out. So like everything that's on back order, it's not just you that has it on back order. It's not there's some reserve for the people on the top that still have that. No, the whole company is on back order with that. So there's still people producing thousands of personal volume themselves in a month. So even with things being on back order. So it's not the company, because we all have that the same. It's not the product, we all have that the same. We all have the same compensation plan. So people on the top, they're making what they've built their way from the top. When they were just getting started, they had to build the same way as you and I do. So what is the only one thing that's different? What is the variable that's right here? Because this is the only thing, the only one thing that is different. So that one thing that's the variable is you. You are what makes the difference. So, what does that mean? What does that mean knowing that everybody has these and you're the only one that's different? Why is there somebody, let's say you want to make $5,000 in a month. Okay, let's say you want to make 5,000 PRV in a month. Why can't you? You can, because there have been people that have done it before you. So what do? You find somebody that has sold over 5,000 personal retail volume in a month, and you say, okay, how do you do that? Okay? So this is you. If you want something, whatever it is in the company, whatever it is, let's say you just want to make it to lead consultant. Find out what a lead consultant did. If you want to make superstar director, find out what a superstar director did. I hope that makes sense. So, I will tell you, when I first got started, I had some training beforehand in a different company, nothing to do with Scentsy. Scentsy is so much easier than this other company. And I had some training. So I knew that when I got started with Scentsy, my main objective was to create a story. I wanted to create a story right at the bat. So when people were like asking about joining, I could tell them, you know, hey, look, this is what I did. So let me show you for an example. So our compensation plan. When I looked at our compensation plan, I saw right here's essential. And I'm not going to write it all out, but they make 20%. So I knew at essential I would make 20%. I knew once I made certified, I would make 25%. So I would get that extra 5% bonus. But I also knew once I made lead and I had a team with me, that I would have an extra percentage on top of that 25. So What do I mean by that? So when you look at your compensation plan, you see that we have 25% after you make certified. Great. But did you know whenever you hit a position of leadership, from lead consultant on up, you make an extra percentage off your own personal wholesale volume. Yeah, so you get extra. Just because you brought somebody else into the business and helping to change their life, giving them hope for a better future. So why wouldn't you offer this opportunity to people? That's just my thought process. So when I first got started, I was nowhere near where I knew people. I was a traveling ultrasound tech, and my home was in Maryland at the time. That was my home base. And I was in California for an assignment. So when I started with Sensi, I had only been there for like a month and a half, something like that. I don't remember offhand right now, but it wasn't that long. So the people I knew were really acquaintances. They weren't really like close-knit friends because I had just literally met them, and it was just through work. So when I got started, I looked at the compensation plan and I said, listen, I'm just going to do away with this. I'm not even going to have essential. I want to go shoot for lead. Now I knew in a place that I didn't really know too many people that was going to be a stretch. Because when I had my first launch party, because my sponsor, who was a star director at the time, so I listened to them because they were in leadership. And I said, okay, she said have a launch party. I don't really know people. I can give the excuse of I don't know people, I won't do it, I can't do it, but I wasn't going to give any excuses. So that's another thing. When I did the circle and it was you that was the variable, this is the thing. The people on the top, they usually next their excuses. No excuses. They next them. Because right there, being in a place where I really didn't know people, I could say, I am not going to do a party because I don't know people. Nobody's going to come. Well, I did the party anyway, and I invited anyone I had any contact with. Guess what? 1.5 people showed up. It sounds better to say 1.5 than just one. The neighbor's husband, so I was in an apartment complex, and the person up above sent their husband down with an order. So I considered them a half. And there was another traveling ultrasound tech that had literally just made it there a week before we did the party. She ended up coming. So she didn't buy anything, but she ended up joining. So right there, my business was expanding because she was actually from Washington State. So my business was now in multiple states just from one person signing up. Now, here was the other problem I had. I only have one order, so I guarantee you that was not a $1,000 order. So I kept taking testers into work and letting people smell it and get excited about it. And I let them kind of just sniff, and if they wanted it, they wanted it. And if they said they didn't want it, because I did have a person that told me, listen, I don't like this stuff, I'm never going to buy from you, do not ask me. I was like, fine, that's fine. So, the people at the workplace that ordered, and I had started early in a month. I started actually on the 1st. I started on the 1st of January, so New Year's Day I started. So I had that whole month that I could really get it started. So I now had somebody that joined. So I knew this was possible. Because when I first started, that's what I was aiming for. So So honestly, since I was aiming for this, when I was talking to her at the party, I was not talking to her about just doing an order. I was talking to her about joining and changing her future. So I was aiming for this all the time. And I think that's why I did hit lead in my first month. But I talked to people. I talked to waitresses. I let them sniff testers. I talked to everybody. I knew I had a friend back in Massachusetts that liked scents. So I sent her a link. I didn't even tell her I was selling it. I didn't tell her that. I said, hey, I know you like scents. Check this out. She ended up buying stuff. It got to her, and the next month she ended up joining because she thought it was amazing. And she was depressed and hated going out of her house. So she figured this would give her something to do and something to get her mind off of her depression. Guess what? It did. She started going out of her house. We started doing events together, and that actually helped her depression. I mean, it doesn't work like that with everybody, but that was, getting started with Scentsy was a way. It was a hope. So if you don't ask people to join, you are taking away hope. And how dare you take away that from them? See, you're like the UPS guy. The UPS guy comes and he puts a package on your porch. Guy, girl, whatever. They put a package on your porch. Now you have the option to open that package or just leave it. That is your option. So to give people the opportunity to join with Scentsy, and you don't know what their situation is. Like, I had a very good job, but I hated it because I was never with my family. I had no time freedom. I hated it. So Scentsy was hope for me. And if I never saw Scentsy, I would have not seen that hope. So not having that opportunity, not having that offered to me, would have taken that away. So when you look at things like that, and you look at things for the opportunity for them, and you look for the better good for them, so you don't go in with your agenda, you go in with their agenda. What do they want out of life? If you hear somebody saying they hate their job, say, listen, I don't know if this is for you or not, but at least it's a way that you may be able to leave that job eventually. At least it's a way. Don't go in with your agenda, and don't going in saying, oh my gosh, Scentsy's the greatest thing on earth, you're going to make it to the top, no problem. No. It's up to them to make it to the top. It's up to them. So you have to offer them the opportunity, but in a way in which it's beneficial for them and that they can see hope. Because there are so many people within Scentsy that would be in miserable lives without Scentsy. So offer it to them in a way that it's sending hope to them. Like, I don't know if it's for you or not, but at least it's a way for hope. You're not promising, you're not over-promising, you're not going to say, hey, you're going to make thousands of dollars within your first month just off your commission. No, you're not going to say that. That's up to them, they can do it. I know plenty of people that made thousands in commission their first month. I mean, that's not typical. I mean, usually it's like, I don't know. I think people get started pretty well, and I think it would be in the hundreds would be the majority of people. I don't know for sure. But, yeah. When you get started, don't just look at this essential and say, oh, I'm going to stay there. Look for where you want to maximize your earning potential. And to maximize your earning potential, it's going to be at somewhere where you have a team. Because then you're going to make off your own personal wholesale volume and not just off your retail volume. So know that every single person that's made it to the top, it's only because of what they did and their mindset. So train your mind to think at a higher level. Train your mind to think how people on the top are thinking. Because mindset is all it takes to make it to the top. It's your mindset. If you sit there and you keep criticizing yourself, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, I guarantee you can't do it. But if you say, listen, I'm not doing it yet, but I'm going to find a way, then you are the variable that's going to find a way. And how do you find a way is to train your brain from people that are successful. I'm always telling my team and even people out of my team, I'm saying, get training, get development. Because those who constantly are training their brain and getting development are making it to the top. Now, watch where you're getting your development from, because there's a lot of people that they don't have anything to back up what they're saying. Make sure it's somebody that can back up what they're saying, and it's somebody where you want to be. Follow, like, if you want to learn how to earn the vacations, go find somebody that earns those vacations. I mean, it's really that simple. It's not always easy, but it's that simple. And you constantly have to be doing something with your business every day. Now, there's times where you are here or you are there. Like, I'm taking care of my parents right now, so I don't have as much time allotted for my business, but I do have time, and I schedule out when I can do stuff with Scentsy. And guess what? The first things on my list are things that are going to be income producing. Hear me on this one. This one is very, very important. Do things that are income producing first. Organizing your office can be nice, and it may help you focus, but it's not what's going to be making you income. Talking to new people, getting products in front of people, talking to people about joining, and not in a way that's pushing them away, as I talked about before. Get to know what they need. You're looking for their strengths, their interests, their goals, and their needs. Look for those and say, listen, I don't know if this is for you or not, but at least this may be a way, in my case, where you don't have to keep traveling away from your family. At least this is a way where you can be with your family and travel, because I love traveling, but I didn't like the fact that I couldn't always travel with my family. So find out what their needs are and lead with their needs. Show them a way. I hope this helps. Remember, you are the variable, and you are super important, and you are the only you. You have something special that nobody else can offer. So go look for some great training. And if you need any ideas, reach out to me. I can tell you some of the best training out there that has made a huge difference in my business. So, hope this helps. Remember, you are special, you are unique, you are the variable to make it to the top. And you can make it to the top. Just know you're going to be there. I love you all. Take care. Bye.